Alrighty, Lee Cole here. Hope y'all are doing fabulous. Just really excited on this Friday, at least afternoon where I am, and I realize that it's all times all across the globe. Appreciate your being here. Appreciate your buying that awesome product. And my goal here with this webinar, Crushing Google My Business: How to Get a Client Right Freaking Now, is to simplify things and give you a gee, Lee, I didn't realize it was that incredibly simple roadmap to where if you do this, you will get clients like right freaking now. I'm talking about today's Friday. If you actually did this, you would have one or two clients by next Friday. Okay, I'm going to make it so easy for you. This is, as I was saying before the webinar started, one of the main strategies that I used when I first started my business and still use today when I want more clients. So this works. This has always worked. This will always work in the future. So without further ado, this is what we're going to learn on this webinar. The exact steps to take to get one or many Google My clients right freaking now. This is a highly focused webinar. I'm here for as long as you guys need me here, if you got questions and stuff like that. But the gist of this is not going to take that long because it's one of those things where you either do it or you don't. Okay. And if you do it, again, it will flat out work. So I make you one promise. I'm going to show you the exact steps to take right now to get one or many Google My Business clients right freaking now. Let me add to that. I don't care if you're new. I don't care if you're experienced. I don't care where you are in that trajectory. I don't care how old you are. This works. So now we're talking about selling Google My Business stuff. I'm going to define that in a moment. And guys, I'm drinking a little iced tea, so if I take a break every now and then you hear a slurping noise, that's me finishing my iced tea. So we're talking about selling Google My Business stuff to local businesses. Now, I want to get really, really clear on this because I was talking to one of my advanced coaching groups day before yesterday. I had a lot of questions about this. Yes, sir, Michael. Michael. There will be a replay. You guys bought a product. This was a bonus to the product. So I don't have you corralled in any one place like if you bought something from me, you know, and it was in a members area. But Michael, through GoToWebinar, I'm going to send out a notification that, and I think I can do that. This is a new feature of GoToWebinar. I will, however, have this up on YouTube, and you're more than welcome to hit me up in my support and say, hey, Lee, I had to skip out on this. Do you have a replay? It'll be up on YouTube. So hit me up and I'll send you the URL to it. So, yeah. Michael, stay until the end. I'll dig it out and give the URL to you. And everybody else, I'll dig out the URL to support and send that to you. I don't handle support myself, so I don't really have the URL off the top of my head, but I'll get that for you. So so we were on a webinar a couple of days ago with one of my advanced coaching groups, and there seemed to be some general confusion about Google My Business from the point of view of the business owner, from the point of view of your potential clients. Now, fundamentally, there are three things that you can sell a client. Now, and look, I mean, this is just like the 30,000-foot view. Fundamentally, there are three things you can sell them. You can walk a client through the claiming process. You can alert them to the fact that their Google My Business listing is not claimed. And I'm going to show you some stuff online in a sec. You can alert them to that fact. A lot of businesses don't even know that, okay? But you can alert them to that fact. You can not only walk them through the claiming process, which usually involves Google sending the business location a postcard and them, getting back online and putting in some kind of PIN or something like that, which is highly confusing to business owners, believe it or not. And they just need some help. Like here's what you're going to get, here's what you're going to do. Get on the phone with them, claim it. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck, but once it's claimed, then you take over. And the next thing you can sell them is optimizing the listing, quote unquote, pimping it out, because there's a ton of stuff that needs to be there. There's all there's all the basics about the business, hours, location, all that stuff. There is interacting with people, leaving comments. That's an ongoing thing. There's the description of the business, which most people in business, it's like, it's true for everybody in business. You are literally in the fog of battle. That's why it's so important to get outside people to do this stuff for you, because they can see, hey, this is the way you need to describe this business. This is the way you need to talk about this business. This is really going to hit your market more than that, right? We're marketers. We are business consultants. So the consulting aspect of that. And then, of course, you can have pictures, videos. Most business owners don't know that. They don't know how to do that. They're helpless and inept. They need you to do this. So the next thing is the search engine optimization process of a Google My Business listing, which boils down to citations. And so just roughly defining this in case somebody doesn't know what a citation is. So a business has a name, an address, and a phone number. It's called the NAP, N-A-P. And so the way Google keeps up with, let's say we've got business A, okay? The way Google keeps up with, business A is getting mentioned a bunch in a bunch of different places, is by finding that NAP, name, address, and phone number, in exactly the same order with exactly the same spelling. In other words, if one place it's called Incorporated and the other place it's called Inc., that's not going to work, okay? And matching it up and saying, man, this is a business that people are talking about a bunch, that influences how highly the business is ranked in the search, in the search engine. And the process of influencing that ranking over time boils down to getting more and more and more citations. And a citation is nothing more than the NAP somewhere else online. And it works roughly, I'm just talking, again, 30,000 foot view. This webinar is more focused on you getting clients. I'm really not that interested personally, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm really not that interested personally, although I do it. I'm not that interested personally in some little hack or trick to get your client's business in the 3 box or the 5 box or the 7 box, because who the hell knows how many things are in the box on any given day. This has changed over the years remarkably. That to me is a technical detail, and I'm going to tell you why it is in just a sec. But anyway, so that process of influencing the ranking of the business is really nothing more than getting that NAP spread out in a whole bunch of various places online. And again, it works very much like just regular everyday SEO. The quality in Google's eyes of the website where the NAP is found influences the validity of the NAP being there. Just and this is the same thing as with backlinks. So if I had a backlink from I don't know, CNN or somewhere, or I got a backlink from some guy's blog that gets 50 views a month, I mean, those are two wildly different backlinks, right? Same thing with the NAP. Okay, so for obvious reasons. One of which is, I mean, something that's mentioned somewhere where there are thousands upon thousands, maybe millions of people looking at it, should carry more weight in terms of what the population in general wants to see than something that's somewhere and nobody ever looks at it. But also, it's so it aligns with what should be important, but also it's a preventative measure for people like us who, try to figure out how to game the system. So three things basically that you can sell with Google My Business. Walking through the claiming, and that's valid. Optimizing the listing, and then ongoing citation building. So we were on this webinar a couple of days ago, and a lot of people, and I understand this, a lot of people are like saying, well, if we're not doing the SEO component, what good is this? Why would somebody pay to good money to have their listing optimized? Now, I want you to think through this. Well, number one, the way you found the business and got the client was you were looking at not unclaimed listings. So in other words, they haven't done this yet. So that would argue that they're probably not going to do this, don't know how. Probably with most business owners, or the ones that survive, they're working on their business. They don't really have time for details. So it's the same reason. Look, I can change the oil in my car. Okay, I don't. There's no way I'm doing that, but I can. I'm quite capable of doing that. So, but I don't, because I would rather, I'm working, I'm doing other stuff. And if I'm not working, I'm actually doing something else. I don't need to screw around. I would much rather pay whatever it turns out to be, 50, $100. I don't even think about it to change the oil in my car. Same thing's true for that, right? I mean, everybody can do everything. I mean, hell, you can Google anything and get the steps to do anything. You could probably Google taking somebody's appendix out. But we don't do that. That's not a good use of time. So number one, it is very, very valid for you to sell. I'm going to walk you through claiming, and I'm going to optimize your listing for you. It's very valid and completely valid and extremely important for you to sell just that. It does not have to be the SEO component. Most businesses, now I know this is anathema to a lot of online people. I've been working with businesses for years, okay? Most businesses, most local businesses, and this may seem almost countercultural, most businesses are not going to benefit that much from ending up that much higher in the Google rankings. Oddly enough. I mean, think about it. If you really deconstruct and you sit down with some of your clients, or if you don't have any clients, just sort of kick back and think about it. If you really deconstruct how business works. So let me use an example. One of my clients is an upscale hair salon here in Atlanta. I worked with them for years. Now, I mean, literally, the part of town they're in is kind of, well, not kind of, it's a very chic part of town. And literally, you cannot throw a dead cat without hitting another hair salon, or without hitting a spa, or hitting some either direct competitor or, kind of competitor. So, I mean, and why would somebody, you're not really going to get somebody to start using that hair salon over another hair salon, really, because they found the listing for that kind of business. I mean, that business is pretty much word of mouth. Oh, doesn't your hair look nice? Oh, well, where'd you get it? Oh, I got to cut it this, I've been going there for years. You should use so-and-so as a stylist and all that stuff. That's the way that business works. Now, so in this case, I've known the owner of this business for 20 some odd years. Okay. So, I mean, I know whereof I speak. So in that case, let's just go down that very common path of how this business gets new clients or gets new customers. And so what would happen next? So let's say my wife gets her hair done here also. I cut my own hair, in case anybody's wondering, with a clipper. But this is where my wife and daughter go. So let's say my wife's just got her hair done. She's talking to somebody. Oh, doesn't your hair look nice? Oh, blah, 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 and all that. What would happen next? What would happen next is the other person is going to take out their phone and say, well, what's the name of the place? What's blah, blah, blah. And they're going to pop that in Safari, Google, whatever, according to what kind of phone they have. And they're going to scroll a little bit and they're going to find it. They're going to touch on that little thing. And then the listing for that phone comes up. And here's where the sale is made. See, here's where it's so important that the Google My Business listing be completely optimized, look sharp, look up to date, look like somebody's been paying attention to it beyond 2 years ago, that kind of thing, because they're going to look at that and they're going to say, "Ooh, this place looks nice." It solidifies. They had the idea. I think, I didn't like my last haircut. I think I need a new place. So and so's got a great haircut. Ooh, let me look at that. They look through that. It solidifies that, and then they feel good. There's a lot of trust built up. We were talking about this 2 days ago. If a business does not have their Google My Business page claimed, I guarantee you, look, the world is still not totally hip to the internet like you guys are. Most people are not like living, breathing internet stuff like you guys are. So if you run across, I mean, just think about it. Just pretend you are your grandmother ish, okay? And think that you're looking for a business and you see one that's unclaimed. I guarantee you, because I've talked to people about this, I guarantee you one of the thoughts that commonly occurs in people's heads is, "Oh, are they still in business?" Yeah, I mean, it's literally like would you have a business, let's say in a strip mall, would you have a business in a strip mall with no sign, right? Would you have a business in a strip mall with no sign? And nothing on the door. Look, unless you were just like some, and yeah, there are some weird businesses like that. But let's say, let me make it much easier for you. Would you have a business in a strip mall that was a retail business that depended on drive-by walk-in traffic? Okay, so now we got it pegged with no sign. Of course not. By the way, would the windows look crappy, and would they be unwashed, and would the inside window dressing of what you see from the outside, would that be all trashy? Or perhaps would there be like, when you're making a new retail business, a lot of times you'll put butcher block paper over the windows so that people can't see what's going on. Would you just leave that there? No, I mean, that's a business killer. So why in God's name would a business not claim their listing? It's the same thing. It gives off the same vibe online that not having a sign or having your windows covered would give off. I mean, you would just drive by and say, "Well, I guess they're out of business. I guess something happened," right? It's the same thing, exactly the same thing. But you go to a competitor's got their listing claimed, competitor's got all this stuff. It's been updated. It looks happy. It looks happening. It looks like a fun place to do whatever you need to do. That's the business that's going to get the money, right? That's the business that's going to get the business. Business is actually not that hard, guys. It's a massive amount of work, but it's not that hard. But it is composed of excellence and a lot of little details, and how you present yourself to the public at large is one of the top most important details. This is what we're talking about here. The citation thing and citation building, I'm not saying you shouldn't sell that. Okay, I'm not saying that you should not sell that at all. I think it's very useful. I think it's going to be very valid for virtually any business. It's just that you don't have to convince the business owner that they need the citation stuff for a Google My Business service to be incredibly valuable to them. Okay? Because that's basically what somebody asked me on the webinar 2 days ago. They said, "Well, wait a minute. What if it's not in the 3 box? What if it's not in the 3 box?" I said, so-and-so, this was during the Q&A on the webinar. I said, so-and-so, and it was a great question, but a wonderful person who's been on a lot of my webinars, really working hard at their business. I love the question, but I said, look, that's not that important. That may be important in a very, very few businesses, but with a lot of local businesses, it's really not that important at all. It's incredibly important to make the way the business looks to the public important. If they want citation building, then yeah, you do that. Okay, you can have a citation building service. You can charge monthly, and that's cool. But a claiming and optimizing service is incredibly valuable to a business without the citation building. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing because that makes Google My Business one of the best, if not the best, front end products that God ever invented. So, you know, God knows. I mean, Google My Business. I quit my job in 2010 in the summertime. I started. I had my first. It was not called Google My Business back then. It was called Google Places. I had my first Google. I think it was called Google Places, or maybe it was called something else before it was called Google Places. It's been a long time ago. But I had my first. Let's call it Google Places. Google Places client the next day. All right. So yeah, and you would think, I mean, this is 2018. There I was in 2010, first client the next day, 8 years. You would think every freaking business on the planet has claimed their listing. Not true. A lot of businesses still don't know about this. I mean, literally, I got a friend who owns a bunch of Asian restaurants. I mean, this guy's a just like a mega entrepreneur, and I eat there frequently. And I was just standing in line one day and looking at my phone, just about to order, just kind of, you stand in line, you order, you go sit down, then the waiter brings it to you, right? And I looked at him and I said, dude, you haven't even claimed your Google listing. And he said, yeah, I've been meaning to get around to that. I mean, this guy has been in business for like 15 years. Okay. And believe me, this guy is cutting edge, you know. I mean, he's cutting edge. He does all the stuff, right? And runs several really nice high end businesses and probably is making an ungodly amount of money. But he says, yeah, man, I just hadn't had time. I said, and he looked at me and said, I don't even know how to do it. It's really confusing. And I said, that's no problem. I'll walk you through it. That was a freebie. I was a really good friend of mine. But here is a really experienced serial entrepreneur in a retail business who is completely confused by the process. And it is a little off-putting. I mean, are they going to call you? Do they send the postcard? All that stuff. I mean, according to, I mean, over the years it has changed. You used to be able to choose. It's, and then sometimes it was just a call and sometimes it was a postcard. And, I mean, Google does not make things easy. They're just too busy over there in Silicon Valley being brilliant. They don't make two things easy for Main Street business. So here was a guy, smart guy, super smart guy, came from a family. They're all doctors. Okay, so super intelligent guy, massive entrepreneur. Didn't know how to do it. Confused by the whole thing. So he said, screw it. I got other stuff to do. I got like 5 restaurants to run. That's why people need you guys. And that's why, number one, not all businesses, even the ones who have been in business for a long time, have claimed their Google listing. Number two, guys, literally, I'm in the United States. I know we got people from England, people from Australia, people from all over the world on this webinar. But this is true in the United States. I can't tell you your numbers. In the United States, there are hundreds of thousands of businesses created every freaking year. Big ones, little ones, ones in the middle. A lot of those are retail business. I have no idea how many restaurants. I mean, opening a restaurant is a common business for people to get into. And I haven't looked at the numbers. I have no idea how many restaurants are open. But look, in the United States, we live in a country of 350 million some odd people. We all got to eat somewhere, and we like to eat in restaurants. There are going to be tens of thousands of restaurants open every year. They got a ton of stuff to do. Somewhere on that to-do list for opening the business, do you think they've got a little thing that says, look into Google My Business and claim all that stuff? It's going to be really rare. Most of them are going to miss it. It's a very, very valid service. This study, 56% of local retailers haven't claimed their Google My Business listing. Notice when this was. Today. This month is February 2018. This is just November of 2016. We're talking about 1 year and 4 months ago. This statistic is not that old. It's not like anything really changed between now and then. Close to half of businesses have not even claimed their Google business. I mean, their Google My listing. The Google My Business listing. I'm trying to get the words out. So the reason I'm spending some time on this is I want you to understand the importance of the opportunity to you and to your client, the ease of the opportunity. We're going to go and line them and show you some quick stuff but before we leave, the ease of the opportunity. And I want to give you a little roadmap for how to sell this, and it's not going to be hard. Let me take a little break, drink some tea, and make sure that we don't have any questions before I continue, because I have literally been talking a blue streak. So anybody got any specific questions that I need to cover before we move on? Awesome. Looks like we are good to go. Wait a minute. Carlos got a question. Hold on. Carlos, I love that question. Let's go over that after I talk a little more about what you're basically a little ahead about. You must have been on one of my other webinars at some point recently. You're basically a little bit ahead about from where some people in this webinar might be. So if you could please remember to ask me that during Q&A. It's a phenomenal question, and I want to talk all about that, because the goal here, Carlos, is to basically speed you up and you not getting hung up on the core of the question you're answering. You're doing everything right, buddy. I just want to make sure that you are using your time in the most effective way. Okay, so for the rest of you, not sitting here looking at Carlos's question, that may have seemed just like completely general and you don't even understand what I'm talking about. I know that. We'll cover it in Q&A. Awesome question, buddy. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Okay, can you find these businesses easily? I mean, literally, and I'm going to pop out of the webinar and go over to Google in just a second. We're going to look for unclaimed listings. It literally is as easy as Googling a business type and location. Now, there is software that will do this for you, and if you want, there's more than one. They're basically called scrapers. There's more than one scraper that will do this for you. One of my favorites, actually my favorite, is made by my buddy Jack Hopman, who makes phenomenal software. If you want a link to that, again, hit me up in support and I'll send you a link to that. But, if you don't want to buy software, you don't want to screw around with software, you just want to, you can do this manually very easily. Most things that we build software for, doing it manually is going to take forever, and that's why we build software for this. Turns out, again, golden opportunity, guys. Turns out that finding enough businesses to contact so that you land some clients fast, and so that you continue landing clients fast, you can do that manually very easily, and it's not going to take you that long. Let's do those. Let's back out of this. I mean, I just told you it was easy, right? Let's back out of this and go here. So I want you to wonder if there's a timer online. Reset. Hang on, guys. That's a timer. I don't want a timer. I want a thing to count seconds. What would you call that? Because I'm going to time how long this takes, just to prove a point. Stopwatch. Duh. Stopwatch online. Here we go. Okay, so over here, I just got Google today. I typed in auto body shop Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, and here they are. Let me just make sure that here's a bunch of them, right? And notice I'm on page 1 of those results. Okay. And if you want to get the information about the business, you just don't go to, I mean, you can, you're welcome to. You don't need to go to their website, but just click here. Okay. So, and when you click here, it's going to pop up a little box that we're going to see in a minute. And it's going to say if the business is claimed. We're not talking about does the listing look good. We're not even talking about that. We're just talking about the basics of is it claimed or not. It's going to, if it's not claimed, it's going to say own this business question mark. So let's start the stopwatch and let's count with me and see how many I can find in a reasonable amount of time. So here we go. We're starting, bearing in mind that I'm talking. So claimed. See, because it doesn't say own this business. Claimed. There's one. Claimed. Claimed, claimed, claimed. And granted, you can do this faster than I'm doing it because I'm running the webinar. 2, Kong's Body Shop. Abra. Convenient. And obviously, you know, if I put my mind to it, I could be clicking faster. 3, maybe the same thing. Kelly. Green. Okay, let's try here. 3. 4. 5. How long did it take us to get to 5? It took me 1.5 minutes to get to 5. And that's with me screwing around running the webinar. Okay. And furthermore, I started at the top of the searches, by the top. And in other words, I started on page 1 here of the searches and in general, and this is really not something you need to think about too much. I'm just proving a point here. In general, most of the searches that end up in these first few pages, you're going to have a greater percentage of them claimed. Okay, because these are the ones that Google's actually ranking higher for various reasons. Probably one of the factors is, are they claimed or not? Okay, I got 5 in a minute and a half. So that means if I wanted 50, I would need times 10. 5 times 10 is 50. So I'd need 10 minutes plus half of 10. I'd need 15 minutes. I could get 50 of these in 15 minutes. Why is 50 important? Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It is super easy to find these. Let's go here and get the thing going again. And yeah, I mean here. So let's look at this because I kind of bopped through that last thing, and you may have missed some stuff. Let me show you what I was looking for. Now this is a different search. I think this is. I think I did cross. Is the search on here? Yeah, CrossFit Studios Atlanta. Okay. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that phrase right there, own this business. Okay, because if it says own this business, Google doesn't know who owns this business, i.e. the listing is not claimed. And to claim it, then you click this, you fill some stuff out, they send a postcard to this address and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then once you get that settled, and you know, you've got all this in the various other trainings you've gotten, including Dave Cisneros' money mapping and all that stuff. I'm not going to go over that, okay? Because you don't need that. What you guys need from me is how to sell stuff, okay? Because the answers of how to do stuff is all out there. It's out there in what you buy. It's out there in what you Google. How to sell stuff, that's not out there. That's what you need me for. So, and how to make money and how to make a lot of money. So own this business. That's what you're looking for. Easy. This is pretty easy. Now, finally, you have to be able to find and contact these businesses. Let's go back to this next slide, the previous slide. Hey guys, if I wanted to contact this business, this is why this is so freaking beautiful. You do not have to do a bunch of research. You don't have to waste a bunch of time. Or if I want to contact this business, hello, there's their phone number and there's their address. It's all right there. At the very moment that I see that the business is not claimed, I've got the name, the address, and the phone number. What I do is just take these and put these on a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet's going to go business name, address, phone number, and then off to the right, I would say contacted, yes or no, and then just leave it at that. So obviously you can easily contact these businesses. They've got the contact information right there. This is a done for you. You have a service that people desperately need. You have everything that you need to contact them. It's something that, and Carlos had a question about this, is something that most business owners generally understand. I'm not saying everybody understands, but most people generally understand Google. And if you approach them right and talk to them about it right, then 95% of them will understand it, okay? This is just made to order. It's made to order. So here's how you contact them. This is not the only way. This is just a way. Remember, we want business right freaking now. You can get business tomorrow, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you don't need business right freaking now, and if you want to set up more of a campaign here, then use some direct mail letters and mail. You got the address of the business, just mail them a direct mail letter, tell them what you do, and you're happy to do it for them, and blah, blah, blah. So a letter takes, let's say, 3 days to get there. It'll take a couple of days for somebody to read it. You probably want to contact them, let's say the next week after you mail it, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing, but that's not right freaking now. If you want to do cold email, yeah, you can use a scraper like Jack Hopman scraper, something like that. You can get, of the businesses that the scraper can find the email address for you, you can set up a big emailing campaign. There's a ton of stuff to know about that, and you'll have to send out a ton of emails. And again, you're not going to get business right freaking now. I'm not telling you that going to see the business or calling them is the only way to do it. I'm just telling you that's how to get business right freaking now. So if they're local, personally, I call, okay? But if they're local, get in your car, get on your public transportation. I mean, because I got some of y'all live in giant cities like London and stuff like that. You don't necessarily get around the same way I do. A bunch of them in a tightly packed geographic area and go see them, okay? I used to do it just like this. Knock on the door, walk in the door. We're going to see what to say in a minute, but you say the same thing whether you're in person or on the phone. Or call them. I like calling. It's faster. And non-locally, because again, on a month or two ago, I had somebody in a webinar said, well, I don't live in a big city. I don't have a lot of people I can see. Matter of fact, I live in a really, really tiny place. I said, thank God that we have telephones. He's got a cell phone. Get the number and call them. That's how you do it. You can even do it, I mean, you pay money to Skype and call their landline from your Skype. I mean, just do it. What do you say? You keep this really simple, guys. The service sells itself, not to everybody. Not everybody wants stuff. Not everybody can figure out stuff. Not everybody's ready. Not everybody's receptive. That's why they call it prospecting instead of closing. If prospecting were closing, all salespeople would be multimillionaires and they would be working 2 hours a week. Most of what most salespeople do is prospecting and qualifying people, qualifying their leads. And then every once in a while you get on a presentation with somebody who's really qualified, and then you have a high close ratio. This is a good thing to say. Carlos, I'm going to use you, if you don't mind. I'm going to use your name instead of my name just to make it, liven it up a bit. Hi, my name is Carlos Mayo. I help businesses like yours with, let me pull this out so I can read it, with their listings on Google. I noticed that you haven't claimed your listing. Would you mind if I gave you some information about my claiming and optimizing service? Right there, bam. Now, I want you to understand this because this sounds so incredibly simple, and it is simple, but it is also, in terms of sales psychology, almost unfair. And I want you to understand the parts of it. This first part basically answers. So let's say you're on the phone. Okay, everything, whether you're in front of a business owner in their place of business, or you're on the phone with a business owner. I detest the word gatekeeper because that has so many negative connotations, which are utterly stupid. But if you're on the phone with whoever's answering the phone on the other side and all that stuff, everything has to happen now. Fast, 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 fast. Why? People are busy. They don't have time to screw around with stuff, right? They want to know. I mean, think about the last time somebody cold called you. And yeah, I mean, even with do not call laws in the United States, it still happens, right? You answer the phone. Of course, if you're in a retail business, you're answering the phone because you think it's incoming business, right? So you answer the phone. The first thing in your mind is, what is this call about? So you got to get that out fast, 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 fast. You got to say everything from here to there, from there to there, fast, 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 fast. So that means you're going to have to practice it. Hi, my name is Carlos Mayo. I help businesses like yours with the listings on Google. I noticed you guys hadn't claimed your listing. I was wondering if I could send you some information about my claiming and optimizing service. First sentence, politeness. I'm a pro, I'm polite, I don't hem and haw, I say my words clearly, right? In other words, you're an adult. Next sentence, this is why I'm calling, but do not, see where I'm pointing with my little mouse thing? Do not pause there or take a breath. You don't want to give them time to think about it too much, because here is the closing sentence. Hadn't claimed your listing. They're wondering what in the hell you're talking about. And, well, this is two sentences, but these go together. May I give you some information about my claiming and optimizing service? This is the secret sauce sentence right here, because think about what's happening psychologically in their heads. Hi, my name is Lee Cole. Customers don't call up and say their name usually, unless they're business people and they're just used to doing that. So they're wondering, what's this call about? I help businesses like yours with their listings on Google. We had to say that because we need them to understand why we're calling them. However, at this juncture right here, they're thinking, oh crap, a salesperson. And I noticed you hadn't claimed your listing. Again, same idea. You tell them why. And this sentence right here literally pulls the rug out from under them, because this sentence right here is designed to be so psychologically relieving for the other person, because what this sentence boils down to is, hey, I'm not trying to sell you something. I just want your permission to give you something. Does that make sense so far, guys? It is incredibly important that you understand these simple sentences. That fourth sentence says, I'm not trying to sell you something. I just want your permission to give you something. The recipient of that message is going to say, whew, not trying to sell me something, which means that they're going to be more receptive to you. You have just gotten around their sales armor. You just did an end run right around their sales armor. Everybody in a sales situation puts up armor. Okay, they put up obstacles and armor and crap. And you just walked right around that because, hey, I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm trying to give you something. Okay. Now, at which point, so however you're sending whatever it is you're sending, I mean, you guys have like hard drives full of PLR stuff. There was a Google My Business PLR thing that sold a month ago or so. It was top notch. It may have been Drew Laughlin who said it. I sold it. I can't remember. Get that, slap your picture on it, slap your contact information on it, find something else, have something, turn it into a PDF and send it to them, or mail it to them, right? And now you have a contact. Because what is the person going to say? Every now and then somebody's going to say no. They just are. They don't want to screw with it. They don't know who you are. They're just so suspicious they can't function. But most people at this point right here are going to say, yeah, sure. You just want to send me something? Yeah, sure. You know, you say this in a very light and polite way. Yeah, I was just wondering if I could give you some information about my claiming and optimizing service. You know, just got a little brochure I'd like to mail you. Would that be okay? That kind of thing. And then at that point, when they give you the yes on, yeah, you can send us some stuff, this is what you ask. I probably should have written it here. Find out who to send it to. Hello, that's a name of a contact. I mean, literally, in American baseball terms, you literally just moved from home plate all the way around to third base with that one. The name of a contact. Who should I mail it to? Great. And same address? Awesome. What's the phone number for them? Just slide that in. If it, if it's a different phone number, different extension, they're at extension 345. It's all light and fluffy. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to give you something. Now you got the name of the contact with their extension. I mean, this is the way you do it, guys. You build out that list on a spreadsheet. You build out that list. You send them the stuff. You call them back. So if you mail it, give them 3 days. So if I mailed it Tuesday, they're going to get it Thursday or Friday. So I'm going to get on the phone and call everybody like Monday or Tuesday. So call them in a week later. If you want to email it, attach it to an email, get their email address. That's fine too. That way, hint, hint, you can take their email, put it in an autoresponder, and build a list of business people who will actually talk to you. That's not a good thing to do. That's a phenomenal thing to do. If you're contacting 50, which is, we'll get down to numbers in a minute. If you're contacting 50 potential leads per day, so 50 times 5 is 250, so that's 250 per week. So we're looking at a little over 1,000, let's say 1,100, 1,200 per month times 12 is 14,400. Yeah, it adds up, doesn't it? 14,400 per year. Let's say that you're doing this with email. Let's say that 60% of that, which is pretty low, 60% of that 14,000 gives you the email of the recipient and their name. So now you have a database at the end of a year. Now, it's not going to take a year to make money, guys. I'm just talking about how to build your business. You've got a database at the end of the year of 0.6 times 14. So that's 6,000 plus whatever the hell. Another couple of 24. So that's it. Guys, at the end of the year, do you realize you have a database of 8,000 businesses who have received your email and are on your autoresponder? Does that excite anybody besides me? Literally. I mean, you should be just about ready to call 911 or call Amazon and get the home defibrillator right now. Does that excite anybody? Those numbers excite anybody besides me? Because that just makes me salivate. The idea of having thousands of emails of business owners who know who I am, I'm contacting them, I'm sending them like a monthly newsletter. That right there, guys. I didn't even mean to talk about those numbers. I mean, I just get going and stuff comes out, right? Because I've been doing this for years. But that right there. So you're making money along the way, okay? You do what I tell you to. You're going to get a client in a week or two minimum. You're making money along the way. You're building your business up. But by a year from now, you've got a database of 8,000 businesses who are receiving your emails and your newsletters and your calls to action, and you're calling them, and you're doing all that stuff. You don't need to do any more prospecting after that. Did you hear me? You do not need to do any more prospecting after that. Or maybe you do, and you just do it all through outsourcers. Do spin off various parts of this. I just told you guys how to go from now to building a serious business, just in those few sentences. So now, little thing, you can do this next part or not. I always do it. I feel like I need to always ask for stuff, and if people don't want to give it to me, they won't give it to me. Look, you're a salesperson. You guys are fundamentally salespeople. You're not internet marketers. You're not offline marketers. You're not video whatevers. You're not SEO whatevers. All those people suck lemons, and they're not making the money that you make because you're the salesperson. Give me any business, any standard business, next to the founders of the business, who were probably originally salespeople, next to the founders of the business, not the weirdo ones like Facebook, next to, I'm talking about normal businesses that start at zero and go up to, 10, 20, 30, $40 million a year. The next to the founders of the business, the group in the business that's making the most money is not the accountants, it's not the bean counters, it's not the guys in the warehouse, it's not the people taking care of fulfillment. It's none of that stuff. It's the freaking salespeople. There's a reason for that, because sales takes discipline. It's very discouraging when you get a bunch of no's, but you have to be and it takes a special person to do it. I'm not saying that you can't, but it is completely teachable and completely learnable by anybody with any kind of personality. I know you may not believe this, but I am like one of the most introverted people on the planet. No joke. I mean, you go ask my wife or my kids if I'm an introvert or an extrovert. Oh God, Dad's a total introvert. I would rather be on a desert island and never talk to another human being. I'd be totally happy just wandering around fishing. Okay, I mean that's my core personality. But I learned to be a salesperson. You can too. So I like this next thing. This next thing takes a little bit of moxie. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You will build the business just with this top paragraph here. But the next one, after you get the permission to mail the thing, send the PDF, whatever it is, yeah, this next little thing is really sneaky. It's just, and you got to get it out quick. So, hello, practice. Stand in front of a mirror and practice. You don't need the mirror. Stand somewhere and practice. Sit somewhere and practice. I don't care. Just practice. Go down to your basement and practice. So they say, Pete, I'm going to use your name just as an example. They say, yeah, that'd be fine. Just send it. It's the same. It's the same physical address. If you're asking for physical address or email, yeah, you want to send it to Pete. Pete at businessname.com would be to place, and then you write that down, repeat it back to him. Cool. Well, listen, we'll get this off today. One more quick thing. Okay. This is how I get from here to here. One more quick thing. I know you're busy. Okay. I'm respectful of your time. I'm a pro. I'm not trying to, jam something down your throat. I know you're busy. I was wondering if you guys wanted to go ahead and schedule a quick 30-minute phone call when I can show you how our claiming and list and optimizing service actually works and what it can do to get you more business. Did you want to go ahead and do that? Most people, like 90% of them, are going to say no there, but we're looking for those golden nuggets. And these are the people, I'll tell you who these people are. They're people who already know they have a problem. They've identified the problem. They think that their online whatever is part of the problem here, just out of the blue. Isn't it fortunate? Just synchronicities out of synchronicity. You called up. You're obviously an expert because you're handling yourself like a pro, because you talk on the phone like Lee told you to talk on the phone, and you can do this in person, right? And they think, what the heck? This guy, this gal, they sound like a pro. I might as well give them 30 minutes and see what the heck this is all about, because I know we got to do something. Okay? So, all these people that you're talking to, they are in various stages of buying. They're completely ignorant of the problem. They know they have a problem, but they're ignoring it. They're denying it. Those are all the stages of buying where we're not going to buy anything. They're wondering what the problem is. They are been looking at it a little bit on Google, looking at a few YouTube videos, trying to figure out what should I do about this. I know I got an issue with this online stuff. What should I do about this? Or, I really, really need some help with this. I just have not, I don't know who to help me, frankly. That's a whole spectrum I just outlined. When I started my business, I did exactly what I'm showing you to do, but except I did it with optometrists in Atlanta. I started at the top. I just, worked my way down within like an hour or so of calling. This guy said, yeah. I mean, this virtually, look, it's 8 years ago. I don't remember the exact words, but the gist was, yes, I've been trying to find somebody to help me with this. Can you come over? Can you just come over to my place of business? And I said, sure. I can't today because I got appointments that I got to go to in a minute, which was a lie. I didn't have Jack. I just started. But I come over tomorrow. What's a good time for you? Set an appointment, walk in, talk to the guy. I was there all of 30 minutes. He gave me a big fat check to do his Google stuff, plus a bunch of stuff on his website. Walked out, big fat check in my hand. Bam, guys, it's going to work like that. Is it going to work like that every time you pick up the phone or walk into businesses? No, it's not. But if you do this consistently, did you hear that word? Consistently, you will build a freaking business, and you're going to have more. You are going to have a different set of problems a year from now, an entirely different set of problems than you have now. So if you really want to put the pedal to the metal, get good at this next couple of sentences. One more quick thing before I let you go. And look, I know you're super busy, but I was wondering if you guys wanted to schedule a quick 30-minute, chat where I can show you how to, and you got to put this in your own words, where I can show you how our claiming and optimizing service actually works and what it can do for your business. Well, yeah, I mean, I was kind of interested in that, Lee. Sure. I mean, 30 minutes, I could spare that. Cool. Then you make the appointment. Then, then you move on to the next stage, right? You got your presentation, you close them and all that stuff. If they say no, fine, fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's no is not a no. It's an I'm not ready. I'm never going to be ready. It's a whatever. They just go on the list. If you get an email, you put them in an autoresponder. If you get a physical mailing address, you call them back in a week and you go like that. Okay. Any questions about how this works? This part right here. I mean, literally, it's just like I just poured gold down your, not down your anything, but I mean, I just pulled, it's like I just poured molten gold all around where you're standing. All you got to do is bend over and pick it up. Any questions about how this works? Yes, no, maybe? Cool beans. Two things. If you do this a lot, Pete, I got you, buddy. I'll come right back to that. If you do this a lot, you're literally going to get hired on the spot every now and then. It happens all the time. It's not going to happen most of the time. Okay. So let's lower your expectations. But Lee, I dialed the phone all day and nobody hired me. Yeah, that's a normal day. Okay. Do that for 2 weeks. Somebody's going to hire you on the spot, and you're going to have a ton of people that you're keeping up with, and some of them are going to hire you a little later on. Okay. If you don't get hired on the spot, okay, like every now and then somebody's going to say, yeah, on the phone. Every now and then it's just somebody's going to want to do this on the phone. Like, you go through this, you get down to here every once in a blue moon. So somebody say, well, do you have a couple of seconds now to talk to me about this? Because I was actually talking to my business partner about this. Can we just talk now? Yeah, go ahead and talk now. Okay. Get good at your sales presentation. So you can, sure. Let me just set up a Zoom meeting and get my presentation up here. It's only going to take about 20 minutes to go through it. I'm going to answer all your questions. We'll talk right now. Every now and then that's going to happen. Okay. If you don't get hired on the spot, go for the 30-minute appointment. Now, on that call. Oh, I love that question, Carlos. I love that question. Hang on. I'll tell you exactly how to answer that. I'm going to move that to the Q&A. But on that call, show them PowerPoint with all the benefits of claiming and optimizing the listing. Some of you have bought stuff and gotten PowerPoints from me. You can make your own. I mean, guys, you can get this information from Google itself. Okay. I mean, you can literally Google my business and it takes you to a web page where you've got, Google wants businesses to do this. Okay. So they've got all the benefits of doing it laid out there for you. Just copy and paste. Make them an offer to do that for them. Close the deal and fulfill. Make the presentation simple. This presentation does not need to take long. It's like 15 minutes. Just you're in, you're out. Hey, Carlos, thank you so much for scheduling this time. Let me run you through a couple of things. Tell them about yourself. If you're brand new, then skip that. Okay, just tell them about the benefits of doing this. And we offer a claiming and listing service. This is how much it costs. It normally takes us a week, with all of our business to, get it done, or 2 weeks. If I literally thought it would take me a week, I would tell them 2 weeks to get it done. This is how it's going to happen, the postcard, and then I'm going to need this information from you and all that. I mean, that's just housekeeping stuff. And then once you get over that, just ask them a closing question. My favorite closing question in life is, you ready to get going on this right now? Are you ready to get going on this right now? You pitch that enough, people are going to say yes. Some people are going to say yes. You get fast enough at pitching this, and Carlos, I'm starting to talk about the answer to your first question. You get fast enough at pitching this. I'm not talking about talking really fast like this. I'm talking about you do enough pitches per unit time, enough pitches per week, enough pitches per month. Ducks are going to line up. You're going to close some deals. Some people are not going to buy yet. You're going to keep up with them if they sound really, really serious. Well, Lee, we literally just opened the door to the business this week, and I mean, starting a retail business is, let's say they're starting a restaurant. I mean, starting a restaurant, man, I got staff to break in. I got all this stuff. I'm super interested in this. I just can't do one more thing this week. Would you mind hitting me up in a couple of weeks? That's a valid objection. That's a valid objection. Other objections like, well, I need to talk to my partner. I mean, seriously, you need to talk to your partner about spending a couple of $100, $300, $400, $500 to claim a Google listing and pimping it out. I mean, seriously, that's crap. Okay, that's an invalid objection. The valid objections you keep up with, you follow back up with them. The invalid objections you drop like a hot rock. They're a waste of time. You're literally flogging a dead horse. Okay? Close the deal and fulfill. And you bought Dave's thing. I know you bought some other stuff. There's some more really killer stuff coming out in a couple of days. You guys are on about Google My Business. It just knocked my socks off when I saw it today. I'll be emailing everybody about that tomorrow and doing my normal video walkthrough. You can take a look at that. I personally, for stuff that I sell, for stuff that I'm interested in, for stuff that has to do with my business, I personally just buy everything, inundate myself with knowledge, inundate myself with courses, PDFs, reports, looking up stuff. I go deep. Okay, you do what you want to. I don't just do one little thing and think, well, I've got the 3 steps. No, I go deep, which is why I have a real business. But anyway, close the deal and fulfill. Now, your marching orders. Who here wants me to tell you what to do next? I mean, we've been on here a while. God, we've been on here over an hour. I thought it was like 30 minutes. I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are getting something out of this. I'm going to tell you what to do next. Okay. Now, you saw how fast I found 5 unclaimed listings, starting at the top where most of the unclaimed listings are not found. Auto body shops. I mean, I live in a city of like 6.5 million people. Okay. So auto body shops, big business, lots of money going through auto body shops because it's mostly insurance stuff, right? I mean, we're talking about businesses that are pulling in millions per year. And yet, within a minute and a half, I found 5 unclaimed listings. So what do we figure? Take me 15 minutes to find 50? 50 is the magic number. No, I'm not saying it won't work if you can't find 50, but if you're serious, if you want to cut the crap and actually have a business, this is what I want you to do. Number 1, find 50 businesses who need their listings claimed and put their information on a spreadsheet. Now, before anybody asks me, there is no golden, perfect niche that you should go after. Just choose one and do it. And then when you get through with those in your, Google thing, then find another one and do it. And then find another one and do it. Okay, this is how you do it. It really does not matter. Let the numbers take care of themselves. Quit obsessing over, well, I wonder if this one's going to be a little better than that one. Who gives a rat's rear end? Just find, call, close. Okay. So today, or if you want to get started 2 days from now, tomorrow, find 50 businesses who need their listings claimed and put their information on a spreadsheet. You need the name, the address, the phone number. That's all you need. Next day, call them. Use the script I give you. The calling, you're looking at about 2 hours, something like that, ish. mean, I can bop through there and do this really fast. Okay. Back in the day, this is a long, long, long time ago when I was a real estate agent and before the do not call list in the United States. This is before cellular technology. I used to start the morning out calling 200 people, calling 200 houses a day, finding people who wanted to list their houses. This is the way I built a really nice business. I could do that within 2.5 hours, just sitting there eating a muffin for breakfast and drinking my coffee and cold calling. So get used to it. Learn to prospect consistently. Be a salesperson. Next day, call them. Use the script I gave you. Practice the script. Okay? Look, just call your wife, call your husband, call your dog. Practice the script. And then tomorrow, just call. Next day, find 50 more. Guess what you do the following day? Call them. Whoops. Rinse and repeat. That literally is this easy. Literally. Literally this easy. So I think with our little example where you ended up with 8,000 businesses on an autoresponder at the end of the year, I think we were calling 50 businesses a day. This is half of that. So now we're going to end up with our autoresponder full of 4,000 or 5,000 businesses. I guarantee you got 4,000 or 5,000 businesses who you already talked to, already sent stuff to. You've got them on some kind of a, for a local business, a monthly newsletter is all you need, okay? Plus a call every now and then. Hey, how you doing? You know, got this service, blah, 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 that kind of thing. That's all you need. Don't email them every day. But you got that built up. I mean, this is half as much calling, right, as I gave you with my previous numbers. You got that built up. You got 4,000. 4,000 is a ton of emails, especially if they're interested in what you're doing. You got that built up. Man, you have a serious business. A serious business. No joke. I know my numbers. You got a serious business. That's it, guys. You know, I don't need to make it any easier because it is rather, I don't need to make it any simpler because it actually is that simple. Just like running is simple, but it's a lot of work, and sales is a lot of work. So the ball's in your court. Do you want to build a business or not? It's all good. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. You don't need my permission either way. But the fact is, if you want a solid, simple way to build a business, this is golden. Now, Carlos, I'm going to go back to your previous question because we're in Q&A, and then Pete, I'll hit you up. Yep. Carlos had a question earlier on, and I asked him if we could leave it for Q&A. We're now in Q&A. When using the script, so Carlos, and I apologize, Carlos, I can't remember what webinar you were in. I've been doing a ton of webinars lately. I love webinars. You know, I love helping you guys like this, but I can't really remember who was where. But I think you were apparently on another webinar with me. But anyway, received these objections to the cold call, I'm guessing. We already have a marketing agency that takes care of our needs. And to others who are confused and didn't get the Google listing concept, is this all a matter of moving on, or should I try to overcome these objections? Let's deal with the first one first. So, whoops, hang on. Okay, right here. I don't know if you use this script. Because if you use this script, then right here, you're getting the permission to mail them something, not to handle their Google stuff. That number one question of yours, we already have a marketing agency that takes care of all our needs. That's the reason that I don't just come out and say, hey, you want me to fix this for you? Because look, and that's a fine question too. Do that enough, you're going to build a business. If you just say, hey, your Google listing is not claimed. I help businesses like yours with this. You want me to fix this for you? If you just did that consistently, consistently, you would build a freaking business. But the reason that I want to mail them something, I got a whole bunch of reasons. One, it psychologically makes them feel like they're back in power, i.e. he's not trying to sell me anything. Number two, I'm trying to get a contact name out of them. And it's just really too soon on a first contact, usually, unless the person's really ready. It's really too soon to be to push the pitch of, do you want me to help you with this? Now, after I give that contact information, then yeah, I add this. And that's okay. But you got to add it in a very, very light way. Oh, one more quick thing, Carlos. I know you're super busy. Really appreciate your time. But I was wondering if you wanted to go ahead and schedule a quick 30-minute call when I can show you how our claiming and optimizing service works and what it can do for your business. Okay, a lot of people are going to say no because they don't know really what the heck it's all about. They may indeed have a marketing agency, but hello, if they don't, if they got a marketing agency, they got an unclaimed listing, somebody has dropped the ball and majorly, and you can't explain that to them. You're never going to argue your way through that. That won't work. But you just take a little shot. And then if they say no, no, I'm good. Just, go ahead and mail me the thing. Okay. Then you mail them the thing or you email them the thing and you follow up with them. You call them back within a reasonable amount of time, like a week or less. Okay. So that takes care of your first thing. And I don't know, I talked about the script on another webinar within the past several weeks. I don't know if you had this, you were doing it like this, or if you're just, doing it on your own. I don't know what happened, but that's the issue for number one. Now, number two, others were confused and didn't get the Google listing concept. The best you're going to do, I can help businesses like yours with their listings on Google. What are you talking about, my listing on Google? You just have to take one stab at that. This is the information that Google has about your business. That's what I'm talking about. Google has information about your business. Yours is incomplete. I help business, you can go into a little explaining here, but you got to keep the language in kindergarten language. Do not use internet marketing type language. Don't call it stuff like Google My Business, because if they're not hip to that, they're not going to know what the heck Google My Business is. Okay? They're going to think that, I mean, that in English, just like outside of the name Google My Business sounds like Google is a verb and my is the one that belongs to you in business. And what the hell do you want to Google My Business for? I mean, so Google it, pull up a browser and Google it, feel free. I mean, that's really what that would say, right? If it weren't a name. So, yeah. So kind of lost my train of thought there, but yeah, if they don't get the issue about the listing, explain it very briefly. By briefly, I'm talking about 7 words or less. Google keeps track of all information about your business, and I know this isn't going to be 7 words, but Google keeps track of all the information about your business, and yours is incomplete, and I run a business helping businesses like yours with that. Just wanted to see if you would mind, and don't go for the sale. Do not go for the sale. Just wanted to see if you would mind if I sent you some information about how we can help you out with that. Not trying to sell you anything today. That's a beautiful sentence right there. Not trying to sell you anything today. You might want to salt and pepper this with that sentence every once in a while. If you're explaining something, say, well, hey, Carlos, I'm not really trying to sell you anything today. Just trying to get your permission and send you some information. But yeah, Google, they keep track of all the information about your business. Yours is incomplete. A lot of people are probably trying to find you online and they're going to your competitors because yours looks like you're not open for business. And I help businesses with yours like that. And all I want to do today, I'm not trying to sell you anything, Carlos, but all I wanted you to do today is to just get your permission to send you some information about that in case you're interested. Just keep it light and fluffy like that. Okay? Yeah, Lee, go ahead and send it. That'd be great. Yeah, super. By the way, Carlos, I mean, you did ask the question, and I know you're super busy. I'm not trying to take a lot of your time, but did you want to go ahead and schedule a quick 30-minute call where I can show you how our claiming and optimizing service actually works and what it can do for your business? You know, yeah, sure. I mean, now that you've explained it, I mean, I could spare 30 minutes. Well, it'll take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. It's just a quick explainer. Cool. Okay. Yeah. When would you like to do that? So you pop that in, Carlos. Every now and then somebody's going to say yes, and you've got an appointment. The rest of them, you mail the thing, you email the thing, you follow up, then you have an appointment. So I think that takes care of your first question, and then, or your first 2 questions. Yeah, no, this has nothing to do with if Pete, I'm reading your question. Is there a way you can tell if a business solely by their website URL has claimed their listing? I don't see any connection between those two, unless there's something I'm unaware of. Yeah, so Pete basically is asking, Pete, if I'm understanding this, Pete's basically asked, could you go from the URL of the website for the business and just look at that and see if they claim their listing? The only way to do that that I can really think of would be to just sort of reverse engineer it a little bit. Just take the business name, pop it into, take the business name, perhaps the location, pop it into Google. The business will come up with the Google My Business stuff, and then just see if they claimed it. You know, that would be a little hunting and pecking to do that. But seriously, you only need 50 a day. Literally, 50 is the magic number. You only need 50 a day. Surely you can sit on your butt for an hour and do that and get 50. And with the other stuff I told you, you can round out your 50 pretty easy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Pete, if you're in the middle of Pete's talking about using this as an upsell. Yeah. So Pete, now you got some more time. So you already sold somebody something else. Pete, guys, does a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, and I teach people how to do stuff on LinkedIn. But so Pete, you already sold them the LinkedIn thing. This is a perfect upsell. So you just look at their website. You get again, get the name. You know, in other words, you got to find it in a way that pulls up the Google listing, right? And then just check and see if it's claimed. Yeah, and say then you're in upsell mode, right? I don't want to get into that too much, but then you're in upsell mode, and so you would say, well, Pete, very cool. I hope you enjoyed the LinkedIn stuff that we do for you. Hope that's really working for you. By the way, I was looking online, as I was checking all the material you gave me, I was looking online and saw your website and just happened to do a search for it to see what came up. You realize you guys hadn't even claimed your Google listing? Seriously, Lee, I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, well, then you go through the same kind of little conversation that I told Carlos. Well, Google keeps track of all the information about your business and blah, 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 and yours is incomplete. Um, I do that for businesses too. You want me to go ahead and do that for you? Yeah, cool. Okay, well, it's going to cost X amount of dollars, pounds in your case. And we can get that done in another couple of weeks. So I'll just add that to what we're doing. Okay, super, super. Really, I really appreciate your. Yeah, anything else you find that I need, let me know. Okay. That's how you get into upsell mode. Okay, it's a great question. Carlos used the script. Carlos, make sure that here you focus on getting permission to email or mail, not closing the deal. Trisha, I'm going to put I don't have, because you're here because you bought something else. I don't have you like in a members area where I can put it on one page and everybody can access it easily. I'll get the replay. It'll be up on YouTube probably tonight ish. I mean, it's Friday, so it's certainly by tomorrow. Be up on YouTube. Hit me up in support, and I will be happy to send you the URL. Or guys, I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. YouTube is a place for me just to put content. I don't push YouTube marketing a lot, although we're about to get into that toward the end of the year. But go to my channel and subscribe. You can literally Google Lee Cole. You'll find my YouTube channel right at top. Go subscribe. That way, Tricia, when it gets up there, you'll get a notification and you're good to go. Besides all the other fabulous content that I put on there, it's that YouTube channel's just dripping in gold. I need to do more with it, but it is what it is. Cool. Awesome. I think I'm at the end of the questions. Any other questions? Any other questions? And then I'm going to stop the recording, dig out my URL for my support thing, pop it in here so that you guys have it. And I think we're good, right? So bottom line, guys, do this stuff, okay? So let's do this.